Today we have another mystery envelope challenge for the Inspiration Collaboration Design Team. Today's mystery envelope challenge comes to us from Dawn Haight, and she says, "Hello friends, it's time to make Christmas cards." I'm so excited this is this challenge because I really need to work on Christmas cards. Use the supplies included in this envelope to create a festive set of cards. You may use any stamps, dies, embossing folders, embellishments, and cardstock you want from your stash. Have fun, and I can't wait to see what you create. So Dawn sent us some of these great papers that are from the Iconic Celebrations DSP, and these are all 6x6 papers, and the ones that are featured in here would be colors like Cherry Cobbler, Mossy Meadow, Pecan Pie, so that's where I will concentrate on. She also sent us some Drusy adhesive-backed embellishments, and I love these. And so I'm going to make a few cards for you today. And I'm going to go ahead and start cutting up these pieces. I don't exactly have a plan, but I'm going to put them into some basic sizes that I think I can work with for my card bases. Okay, so for this next part, I started cutting things down and I realized the papers weren't quite 6x6, but I went ahead cutting them anyways. The large ones I had cut into 5 1/4 by 4. The smaller ones I cut into 5 1/4 by 2. And then I looked at different ways to cut this one, and I think I cut it 4 by 1 3/4 for those little candy cane ones. And then I brought in some cardstock, both Cherry Cobbler and Pecan Pie, and I cut that 8 1/2 and 11 by 11 cardstock down to quarters. So 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 for those. And then I took my card bases, and do you see what I'm doing? I'm folding them right up against those corners of my paper trimmer, and then I get very square cards very easily. It's the easiest way to match up those corners. And then I kind of matched up what color I wanted with each of these little Iconic Celebrations DSP. And I had to cut a little bit more cardstock just to have enough for all of the cards, but I had plenty. And honestly, these went together really fast, and this part was not hard. It was not time consuming at all. And I started pairing up some combinations of a few. I cut them down to put little strips on the inside of the cards or whatever. And I had just tiny little remnants, as you can see off to the side. That's really all I had left from this whole stack of the 4 different DSP. And so I started putting these on my cards, and they were just plain basic cards, a solid color background, and then a piece on the side. If I had 2 prints, then I trimmed one down a little bit. But after I was going for a little while, I got a little bored with these. So I decided that I needed to do something different. These cards with the candy canes across the bottom, they were just all the same, but it was the ones that had that 2" by 5 1/4 that I thought I could make something kind of fun out of this. So I put that on the front, and then I decided I would cut it in half, and I would trim 2 1/8 off the side of the front of the card, and then I'd put half of that panel on the inside and half on the outside. And I did that to 2 of these cards that had the split front. And then I had a card that was just regular red background with the Iconic Celebrations panel on the front. And I'm like, I could still split this in half. It doesn't matter if it's all the same. And so I stuck that to the inside of the card. And that gives me 9 cards. So I'm going to bring in my stamp set. It's Greetings of the Season stamp set. And I used the same sentiment inside all of the cards. It said, "May your holiday season be filled with warmth and cheerful celebration." Then I brought in some of my mix and match pieces. I also brought in some Reindeer Day Memory of More cards. And this is probably what took the absolute longest for the whole card making process, was going through and trying to decide what would go on each card. I had some gold foil sentiments and I played with a bunch of those, and I really loved these sentiments and I wanted to use like all of them on all the cards, but I just didn't think that it was the right size, or it just didn't pop off all of the cards as much as I wanted to. So ultimately, after all of this was said and done, I only used one of those and it said Merry Christmas. So then I started bringing in some of the tags, some of the little icons, and trying to decide what I could mix and match on the front of them. And I still just wasn't quite feeling it until I saw like there was a bigger sentiment that I could put on. And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I still have those cards, the Reindeer Days Memories and More card pack. And there are two different size cards that are in these packs. There's the small ones that are like 3x4 and the larger ones that are like 4x6. And once I started playing with these cards, then I got really excited. I'm like, I think I could make these work on the front of the cards. Some of them just said Merry Christmas, and you get so many of each design. I love it. So the Merry Christmas I really liked. And then there were these Christmas trees. I loved the tags with the Christmas trees. And so when I found these Christmas trees, I really liked those. And I liked the stripes behind it because the stripe had the red and pinks going through it. So I think that really tied in nice with the candy cane print. And then I wanted some little presents for under the tree. And I was thinking that there was one card that I could cut them out from, but I didn't really want a fussy cut. And then I found those stickers. The Reindeer Days Memory of More card pack also had sticker sheets. And those little stickers up to the top left actually have little presents on them. And I'm like, oh, that's perfect. So you see me gluing on my Merry Christmas here. That's the only gold foil one that I used, but I really liked it on that card. And then I liked these, but they were just a tad too big, and I wanted to keep that square or rectangle outline that they had, so I just trimmed probably a 1/16 of an inch, maybe an 1/8 of an inch at the most off of all the sides. And it really helped fit the front of the card just a little bit by trimming them down. And some of these I only could put adhesive on half because of how I cut the card. And then I put that one sentiment on the back side of it. So when you opened it, you still had something pretty to see. And I have this Satin-edged Ribbon from Stampin' Up. It's adorable. And so I fished that through and was trying to remember which way to do it. And then I used my Dimensionals on the back, and I really like how that looked on the front of the card. And then the next card I did the same thing. And then I realized I put my Dimensionals all over the back of it. And it's a split card. I can't use Dimensionals on the back of all of it, so I need to take it off of half of them. And I fussed with them a little bit, and then finally I remembered I've got this rub and remove eraser, and that does wonders for getting adhesive off of something. So I used that and still had that tag popped up on the front. And then the stripe, I kind of put it going sideways, and it stuck out just a little. So I will trim that off when I'm finished. But I like that on the front with the Christmas tree. And I kind of layered these just to give it a little more pizzazz. I layered some of those cards on the front, and I really had a hard time getting the diagonal stripe cards on the front. it's very deceiving to the eye trying to get them squared up. I don't know why it was hard for me, but it was. And then I worked on putting some of these all popped up on the front of cards, and then I was ready to come in and embellish some. So we'll start with the stickers and put like 3 presents under each tree. How many presents do you buy for everybody? I really don't have a set number, but some people just stick to the number 3. I kind of like that idea. I think it represents like the wise men giving 3 gifts to baby Jesus. And so I put, most of these all had just 3 gifts under them. And then I decided I needed to start embellishing a little bit more. There were some candy cane stickers, and so I stuck that inside some of the cards that had the candy cane print DSP on the front. And I used those Drusy adhesive-backed embellishments that Dawn sent, and then I went and pulled out some more embellishments that I have, and some of them that I used were ones that were leftovers from the kits that we get. And so I don't exactly know what to call them. A lot of these were just leftovers from kits. And so it's a great way to add a little bling. I put like 3 on each card, and these were pretty fast to make, and I have 9 more Christmas cards all made. So thanks so much, Dawn, for sending this mystery envelope, and thanks for the challenge, because it's exactly what I needed to be working on right now with getting ready to mail out my Christmas cards. So if you enjoy watching these mystery envelope challenges, the Inspiration Collaboration Design Team does this every month on the 25th. We take turns sending these mystery envelopes and challenges to each other. And we also put up some sort of a collaboration on the 10th of the month as well. So here's one final look for you to see all the cards that I have, and I hope you enjoy it.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe for more crafty inspiration.